Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Name that song. Anyone? Anyone? Yes. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the throne room. This is where all the good stuff happens. Well, okay. There's also the kitchen. And there's also the studio. So I guess we could say this is where all the serious stuff happens. Well, I mean, there's some serious cooking that happens in the kitchen. Anyway, this is a good place to be. I'm glad you're here with me in my throne room. Let's get right into it. I want to answer your ostomy questions, and these are questions that you've asked in comments of previous videos of mine. And if you have any more questions, like general ostomy questions or specific questions for me, leave them in the comments of this video and I'll answer them in future videos. Oh, and while you're down there in the comment section, if you wouldn't mind just hitting the subscribe button, that'd be cool. No big deal. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Also, in the near future, I am making specific dedicated videos about my ostomy story, about dating stories with an ostomy. Those are always good. And about how I shave around my stoma. So if your questions are about any of that stuff, I mean, still let me know, but just know that those things are all getting their own video soon. And if you don't know me, my name's Nate. Just a very, like the most brief version of my story there is. Listen, I'm 37 years old and I currently have a permanent ileostomy. There's a long road we can go down into my story, and I'm sure a lot of you relate to that. We go through a lot as ostomates. But anyway, question number one, let's get into it. How are you? Well, thank you very much for asking. I'm doing really well, actually. I'm probably doing a little too well. I've been working really hard to get into a good place physically, mentally, and now I'm worried that I'm doing too well and I'm like spreading myself too thin, taking on too much. Oh boy. Now for the first actual ostomy question. How do you do in a hot tub? Well, actually, I do really well.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought some corn for Poppy. All right. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow.
And there's a few things to say about going in a hot tub or going swimming with an ostomy. We'll focus on the hot tub right now. Getting in the hot tub with an ostomy is all about first making sure that you have the right product. Everything in the ostomy world is trial and error. So I would say yes, you can absolutely go in the hot tub, but there are a few things you need to do first. One, make sure you don't still have any open wounds. That's a tough one. Make sure you're all healed up and everything's good to go that way. Next, you want to get to a place where you actually really trust the products you're wearing. That may happen right away, and you might just get lucky with things they send home to you in the hospital with you, things they send home with you from the hospital, or samples you get after coming home from surgery and stuff. You may get lucky and one of those may work perfectly well. But for most of us, we have to keep getting samples from different companies. We have to keep trying different products. And eventually we find which system and which exact products from that system or brand work best for us. You want to make sure that you're getting a pretty decent wear time with your ostomy so that, you can trust actually getting in the water and taking a shower and things like that, which is all very possible. Currently, my wear time is about a week. I only change my bag once a week right now. And so, yeah, I can basically go swimming as much as I want. And I shower every single day, stuff like that. A couple things that could help. You can wear different types of waterproof support belts. You can get ostomy bag covers that are like a waterproof material. That'll at least make you feel a little bit more secure. They do have these barrier extenders. Most of the time, for most of the companies, they're curved. But this is one that I had sitting around and it's just straight. But most of the time they're curved. And so after you've put on your ostomy bag and your flange and everything, if you want to be extra safe, these can also go on the outside, like around the border of the barrier that you have on your skin, just so it's like an extra layer of protection of things not peeling off of your body. You just want to make sure that you're getting a pretty good wear time and that you know you can trust the bag that you have on, because you don't want to, you don't want it peeling off while you're in the hot tub. But honestly, with what I have right now, and I know people who change their bags much more frequently, like every 3 or 4 days, and they also go swimming and get in the hot tub as well. These things are made to get wet. They're made to work with your body. They're made to move around. So find one that works best with your body type and with your skin, and find the right accessories that you need to make that all work for you. And then, yeah, get in the hot tub, hang out. I wouldn't be in there for more than like, I don't know. I don't think yeah. Since getting my ostomy, I don't think I've been in the hot tub for more than 45 minutes or an hour, but I mean, that's more than enough time. But listen, yeah, once you find the right products, it's totally possible. Get in that water, get in the hot tub, find products that work for you, and enjoy your life. The next question or request, please make a video on how you use stoma powder. I was gonna make a whole video about this, but there's really not a lot to it. If you've ever seen videos on how people use stoma powder, or if your stoma nurse has ever shown you how to use stoma powder, you might have heard of the crusting method. And that's where you like put a little bit of the powder on and then you wipe it a little to kind of build up a barrier around your stoma. I used to do all of that. I used to be very technical and very precise, but honestly now, I just take it, and after I've shaved and cleaned everything really good on my peristomal skin, right before I'm about to put on, a barrier ring or my flange in my new bag, I just spray or apply, I guess, do you spray a powder? You squirt a powder? I apply the stoma powder just around the base of my stoma, and any excess powder on the rest of my skin, I just wipe it away because I don't want anything like directly between my skin and the flange. But I just get it really nice around the base of my stoma. That kind of prevents moisture from getting out onto the skin and everything. Then I put on a barrier ring, or I just put on depending on how good my skin is doing, I might just put on my flange, and then I'll heat my wafer for a bit, or flange, vice versa, whatever you want to call it. And this is one of the perks of having a two-piece, is I actually just get some gauze and hold it over my stoma and the flange without the bag on yet. And I just heat everything up for a few minutes. And then when I'm ready to put the bag on, then I just kind of like make sure it's still all clean in there with some gauze. And then one more time, I take this and spray it around the base of my stoma. I'm just trying to make sure that I can prevent moisture from getting to the flange and everything for as long as possible, so that you can keep your barrier from melting as long as possible. So it's pretty simple. I just kind of put it on there, brush it off the rest of my skin, and make sure I'm good to go. Okay, next question. Can you recommend a good ostomate group so I can meet some new people? Thanks. This is huge. There are so many important steps in having an ostomy, so many things that can help you have a successful ostomy life. And finding people, and I've talked about this a bunch of times, and I'm going to keep talking about it, because I promise you, once you have some good ostomy friends, you're gonna say, Nate, you're right. Yep, I know. It changes your life. It gives you an unparalleled amount of confidence and security and love and freedom once you've got some ostomy friends. So I understand this question and the need for wanting to find people. I know that it's also difficult to find other people who have ostomies, depending on where you live, depending on what the groups are like where you live. So anyway, First, I would try support groups. And the best way, at least that I know of, to find ostomy support groups is to go on the UOAA's website. They have a support group finder so that you can figure out where the closest ostomy support group is to you. And if you've already done that, there are a few other things you can do. Maybe you're already following some other ostomy influencers or just people with ostomies online, people you like to see online who share about their ostomy and stuff. You can always ask them if they know of any online support groups or in-person support groups. But, just start networking online if you don't have anything near you, because I promise this can lead to something. I know of a few virtual groups. My friend Letitia at Queening with Crohn's, she runs I want to say once a month virtual support group, and it's called Osto Chat. That's a really good one. It's very fun, all awesome people. I know of one for younger ostomates from ages 18 to 40 or 45, and that's called the Young Ostomy Alliance. That's a newer virtual ostomy support group, and you can find them mainly on Instagram. But a lot of the people that you might already follow online who have ostomies, they may know of a good group that you can join. In terms of meeting people, well, let me say this first. I would say go through all the different support groups and all the different Facebook and Instagram groups that you can find. The only problem is that I don't like a ton of those. I find that if you're in certain ones, you can kind of get bombarded with weird information or a lot of negativity. And I understand, trust me, I'm not about false or fake positivity. What we go through is hard. It's a lot to deal with. But there are a lot of groups on Facebook where it's like the whole time is just doom and gloom. And honestly, I would say stay away from that. You can find better, more helpful groups than that. So, kind of play around with finding different groups online or asking different people that you follow if they're a part of any good groups, or find out who lives by you, like put it out there in the ostomy world on different pages. What ostomates live near me? What ostomates live in Kentucky or whatever? And you know what? I'm in Utah, kind of between Las Vegas and Salt Lake City. I'm going to give kind of a broad answer there. I don't want you to know where my house is. But if you're in that area, I would love to meet with you. That'd be so cool. In terms of for sure, I know this is where you can meet awesome people. Right now, the best answer is to go to the UOAA conference. It's every other year. This year, it's August 14th to the 16th, and it's in Orlando, Florida. I'll put that link in the description as well. I've made probably 80 to 90% of my ostomy friends at that conference, and I'm still friends with all of them, even the very first ones I met in 2017. You will find someone that you can connect with at that conference. I know it's a financial thing. I know it's a commitment for a few days, like it's a Wednesday or it's a Thursday through a Saturday, but a lot of people are, they like to go Wednesday through Sunday, stuff like that. So I know it's a time and financial commitment, but it's about priorities and how much you want to meet someone, right? I've been going to those conferences since 2017, and I've made so many good friends. And I've met so many impactful people that I'm either still friends with or that I just follow and that help me with my ostomy life. Anyway, I'm dragging that out way too long, but those are some options for you. I'm personally trying to create more events in person because I know how much of a big deal it is to meet other ostomates and have actual good connections with them. So that's that. All right, next question. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. Next question. What brand bags do you use? Thank you for asking that. I feel like an influencer. At least I'm getting asked about something. No one wants to know what my morning routine is, that's for sure. But hey, I will tell you what brand of ostomy supplies I use. I can definitely do that. So, I've been using Hollister products for 15 years now. I was given Hollister products right out of the hospital. I was given a couple other brands as well, but Hollister's, they just stuck. They stick with me, so I continue to stick with them. I do like things that some of the other companies are doing, but Hollister's products are simple and I can trust them very much. They just work for me. Like, I put it on and I don't need to worry about it. So I can go into more detail about the products I use in another video if you'd like. Comment below if you'd like to see that. But for now, I'll just say I use a 2-piece from Hollister. If you want the actual numbers and stuff, I can comment those down in the comments and everything. But I love a 2-piece. Well, I love an Ostomy 2-piece. And I really trust Hollister's products. They've been awesome to me. And there are other products that I've tried and I've liked in the last, couple years, but Hollister they tick a lot of boxes for me. So, yeah. Hope that helps. Next. All right. Oh my gosh, did I just delete a whole thing? What did I do? Next question. Do you sit or stand to empty? 90% of the time I sit. I sit just like how I'm sitting now, and I use my handy dandy toilet paper right in the front of the toilet. Oh gosh. I'll be using that right after this video is done. I'll just save that for in a minute. Because hey, this is one of the few places you can watch a YouTube video where the YouTuber is pooping while making the video. Literally. I usually sit, throw some toilet paper on just like how I am now, and I empty into the toilet and I'm good to go. Sometimes if I'm like really in a rush or depending on what I'm wearing, I will just turn around the other way and just kneel down in front of the toilet and empty right in. And I'll also use the toilet paper sled method. I don't do that a ton. Every once in a while, I'll just, kneel down really quick right in front, empty, close it up, be on my way. The fun one though, sometimes I do a bit of a squat and hover, kind of a, I'm a little tight in here with all my equipment, so I won't do a full demonstration for you. But last week I was at a church event and we were up at this campsite in the mountains, and luckily it had a toilet at the campgrounds, but it was just, it was up in the mountains. It was just one of those vault toilets, and I didn't really want to touch a lot of the stuff in that bathroom. So I stood in front of the toilet, obviously the other way, and I was just kind of like squatting and hovering, and and I just aimed my ostomy bag like down into the deep, dark abyss of that vaulted toilet. And you just hope for the best. I get toilet paper and stuff ready ahead of time, like before I've opened my bag, and I just kind of, I got it in there, no mess was made, easy, and I didn't have to like sit down or touch any of the other stuff. And that was just that bathroom. Like, I go hiking and stuff all the time. There's plenty of things you can do out in the wilderness. That was just one of the funny things I've done. And sometimes in public restrooms, they can be like really nasty. So I'll just kind of like hover and squat as close as I can get to the water and everything, and empty out and clean up, and there I go. 90% of the time, I'm just sitting like this, nice and easy, not trying to make it too difficult on myself, and I just empty right there into the toilet, no big deal. The last question, it's actually just more of a statement, but it brings up a good topic. And one of you just said, it's great to hear ostomy talk from a male's perspective. That comment stood out to me, and I just want to say thank you for saying that. I'm trying to speak out about it more and more and more as we go on, but with that, I have a special announcement. Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to a page for men with ostomies. Ostomy men. If it isn't about nutrition or working out, we don't like talking about our health or health issues. We really don't like talking about the serious stuff like having an ostomy. In fact, we avoid it so much that this is the first page I've seen dedicated to us. And I had to start it. So we need to start sharing more and helping each other out more, especially when there's a new guy. If there's something I've learned in the last few years, it's that our experiences and knowledge with ostomy life are needed more than we know. So this will be a place where we celebrate, learn from, and help one another. And this isn't about me. I'm just getting the proverbial bag stuck so that we can really get things moving. So please Share this account with all the ostomy men you know. And if you want to share anything or be featured on this page, just send me a DM. Sound good? Let's begin. Yes, that is right. I've started an Ostomy Men page on Instagram. I made an account on TikTok as well, just so that I secured the name on TikTok, but we'll see what I turn it into on TikTok. It's crazy that there wasn't already a men's page. I mean, there might be one like way out there somewhere on Facebook or something, and I'm sure there's one maybe for men with IBD or men with different types of cancer like colon cancer and stuff like that. But just a regular page for men who have an ostomy, I couldn't find one. So I made one. And, you know, there are a lot of really amazing men who are already talking about ostomy life, and they do a lot of good. Some of my guy friends who have ostomies have done way more work in this community than I have, and they're phenomenal. They're really great guys. They're doing a lot of work. They're helping a lot of people, and that's great. But then there's the other category of guys who have ostomies, and they may not like to share because maybe they feel a little embarrassed or just nervous. And I want to help those guys. If they want to share their story and help other people with an ostomy, I want to be there to help them do that. And I want to create a space where they can, feel comfortable and feel secure stepping out and doing that and connecting with other guys. I just think that's important. And then there's another category of guys who don't talk about their ostomy, and they are just like how I was at the beginning of my ostomy journey. For the first 7, 8 years, the only people who knew about my ostomy were my family, like 2 best friends and a girlfriend. That's it. And it wasn't because I was like nervous or maybe a little embarrassed or like I didn't know how to approach it. That was a small part of it, but most of it was just because I was like, yeah, this is my thing. I don't want to be known for it. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to like go on and do all the other stuff with my life. And a lot of guys are like that too. We just see this as like, some people have shoulder problems. Some people have heart problems. A lot of people have different physical, medical issues, disabilities, or birth defects, stuff like that. And that's all over the world, right? There are a lot of people that are dealing with things like that. And so to me and to a lot of other guys, we just kind of see it as, yeah, this is my thing. Don't need to talk about it. I just got to figure out how to live with it and move on. For all the guys in all those categories, I just want to bring us all together. That's all I want to do. Ostomy men, be there. Let's have a good time. Let's support one another. Let's encourage one another. And let's just make that a really cool place. I don't want the page to be about me, but for now I'm kind of like slowly getting things off the ground and everything. But hopefully soon that becomes like a really powerful place where men can connect and really help each other out in this community. And with that said, that's all the questions I have in my comments right now. So if you have more questions, please share them down in the comments or find me on Instagram or TikTok or whatever and send me DMs, stuff like that. Ask me whatever you want. Let's get to it. I do have enough questions from a recent podcast. Well, it was a support group, but we recorded anyway. It felt like a podcast. But I do have questions from that I'll be answering in another video. But I'd love to make more and more of these videos answering questions that you actually have. Because I can always just go to Google and get like all the questions that people generically ask on Google about ostomies and stuff. But I want to know what you, who's actually watching my video, wants to know. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I've answered your questions well enough. And, if I haven't, I'll be happy to go into more detail in the comments. Let's do this together. All right, hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.